In the boundless grasslands of the human world, where dawn's golden light stretched endlessly across the horizon, a group of wandering gods descended from the heavens. They were careless, laughing and exploring. When fate played a cruel trick, they stumbled into a treacherous swamp. Their cries echoed desperately, breaking the calm of the plains, until they reached the ears of young Commander Arin, a man known not for wealth or power, but for his brave heart and restless spirit. Without a second thought, Arin sprinted toward the chaos, spotting a magnificent white horse sinking deeper into the mire. With only seconds to spare, he hurled a rope around its neck, tugging with all his might. His muscles strained, his body shook, but the stubborn mud held tight. For a terrifying moment, it seemed the horse would vanish beneath the water. Arin's sharp eyes caught sight of his wooden water cart. Thinking fast, he tied the rope to it, letting the cart's weight drag backward. Slowly, agonizingly, the horse emerged, gasping for breath, dripping with muck but alive. That moment forged a bond between man and beast. The white horse, shimmering even under the mud, shed a tear of gratitude. It longed to repay Arin's kindness with marriage, but their worlds were divided, human and animal. With sorrow burning in its heart, it disappeared into the night fog, leaving Arin with only questions. Yet destiny was not done. The next morning, as sunlight broke across the horizon, Arin was startled awake not by the neigh of a horse, but by the bray of a stubborn donkey. To his disbelief, this donkey was the very white horse he had rescued, transformed to remain by his side. It came bearing strange gifts, 2 fine robes fit for nobility, and a BMW-like steed, strong and swift. From that day, Arin and the donkey were inseparable, partners bound not by chains, but by loyalty. Their travels carried them to a grand kingdom, where the donkey's unusual form drew wide-eyed stares. Citizens whispered, curious about the man and his beast, until word reached the ears of the kingdom's king. Greedy and envious, the king demanded the donkey be taken from Arin. Though helpless before the crown's might, Arin's friend was clever. With bold tricks and daring speed, the donkey escaped his captors, returning to Arin's side. Their reunion enraged the king, but rather than execute the young commander, he crafted a test disguised as opportunity. If Arin wished to keep his life, he must hunt the legendary fire phoenix, a creature wrapped in flame, feared across generations. No man had faced it and lived. Everyone knew it was not a mission of honor, but a death sentence. Yet Arin accepted, guided by courage, loyalty, and the faint hope that fate had more in store for him than death. The following dawn, Arin and the donkey ventured into the thick forests that whispered with magic. The air crackled with an energy that felt alive, and on the ground, glowing fruits shimmered like jewels. The donkey spoke in a low, knowing voice, warning that these enchanted fruits were the fire phoenix's favorite delicacy, and more than that, they carried a paralyzing effect. Together, they gathered the fruits, scattering them across the sandy shore of a lake. Silence fell, broken only by the distant hiss of wind. Then it came, the fire phoenix, wings burning brighter than the sun, talons tearing into the sky, eyes blazing with eternal fire. The beast screeched, shaking the heavens, before landing with grace and hunger. It devoured the fruits one by one, the flames on its feathers flickering, dimming, until its majestic body swayed. At last, it staggered and collapsed, trembling as if drunk. Arin's heart pounded. This was his chance. He stepped forward, chains in hand, ready to subdue the fiery creature. But with a sudden burst, the phoenix's claws lashed out, raking the air beside Arin's face. Startled, he stumbled backward, as fire erupted around him. Trees turned to ash, rivers boiled, the forest became a sea of flame. Trapped with nowhere to run, Arin hurled another fruit. The phoenix swallowed greedily, then staggered into the lake. Water hissed, steam rose, and silence fell once more. From the ashes, the phoenix lifted its weary eyes, not with rage, but with sorrow. A single tear, glowing like molten gold, slid down its face. Compassion overcame Arin. He threw away the chains and freed the beast. At that moment, the phoenix burst into radiant rebirth, wings spreading into the sky like rivers of fire. With a cry that shook the clouds, it soared upward, leaving behind only a single flaming feather, its token of gratitude. When Arin returned to the king, the sovereign mocked him, scoffing at the dull-looking feather. But in an instant, it ignited, filling the sky with the phoenix's presence. The kingdom bathed in light, the people cheered, and for a fleeting moment, Arin was hailed as a hero. Yet envy twisted the king's heart further. He demanded another impossible quest: travel to the frozen mountains and return with Princess Selene, the Maiden of Ice, long lost to legend. With no choice but to obey, Arryn set off once more with the donkey, braving blizzards and towering walls of ice. The phoenix's feather burned once again, carving a path through solid frost. At last, they found Selene, her beauty radiant, her eyes cold with sorrow. She refused to leave, her soul bound to the mountains. To prove her will, she leapt into the abyss. Arryn followed, throwing himself into the void. In that endless fall, he confessed his courage, his determination to save her. Touched, Selene's heart softened. Just as the ground rushed to meet them, the donkey appeared, wings wide, lifting them to safety. Together they returned, but Selene's arrival sparked dangerous desires within the king. Though the people praised Arryn as a hero, the king hid his jealousy behind false smiles. Gold and jewels were heaped upon Arryn, yet his heart felt no joy. One night, gazing at Selene's chamber light, he climbed to her window, offering her flowers. The princess accepted with warmth, but her beauty soon caught the greedy eye of the king. He demanded she marry him. Clever as she was, Selene bought time, declaring she would only wed once her grandmother's lost ring, sunken deep in the sea, was recovered. Furious, the king ordered Arryn to find it. Beneath the waves, Arryn discovered a colossal whale, Jinyu, its massive body bound in rusted chains that stretched endlessly. Trapped for centuries, Jinyu's flesh had turned into an island, his cries shaking the ocean floor. Compassion stirred Arryn once more. With the donkey's help, he rode into Jinyu's nostrils, navigating caverns as vast as night skies. The donkey spread its wings, gliding through, until Arryn found the creature's tortured heart. With a final strike, they shattered the chains. Jinyu erupted from the waves, casting off his prison, releasing shipwrecks swallowed long ago. As thanks, he spat forth the grandmother's ring. Though Arryn had completed his mission, his heart was heavy. He knew returning meant giving Selene to the king. In defiance of fate, he confessed his love, begging her to escape with him. But their secret was discovered. Soldiers stormed their chamber. The donkey was struck by arrows, wounded gravely. Selene, desperate to save Arryn, revealed the truth of the flower of life and death, a mythical blossom that held the power of immortality. The cowardly king, unwilling to test it himself, forced Arryn into a cruel trial. 3 cauldrons stood, one boiling with water, one freezing with ice, one steaming with milk. If Arryn survived, he would live. The test began. Arryn was hurled into the boiling water. Just as death loomed, Selene threw the grandmother's ring into the pot. A miracle unfolded. Arryn emerged unscathed. Next, he was plunged into the icy cauldron. His body stiffened, frozen in seconds, but the phoenix returned, casting down a fiery feather. The ice shattered, and Arryn rose once more. Finally, he was dropped into the scalding milk. Silence, no movement. Hope flickered out. But then, across the horizon, silver light cut through the night. The donkey, though wounded, had traveled to the ends of the world to retrieve the flower of life and death. Its petals fell into the cauldron, and from within, Arryn emerged reborn, glowing with unearthly light. The hall trembled as people gasped in awe. The king, blinded by greed, stripped off his robes and leapt into the milk himself. But instead of rebirth, he was blasted upward in a fountain of scalding milk, cast into the heavens, never to return. The throne was empty, and the people turned to Arryn. Crowned as the new king, he stood tall, Selene at his side, the kingdom reborn under their love and wisdom. Peace and joy swept the land. Yet Arryn was never alone, for the donkey remained a guardian spirit, protector of the city, watching over the people and their new king. From the muddy swamps to the icy mountains, from burning forests to the endless sea, Arryn's journey was one of courage, sacrifice, and the unbreakable bond of loyalty. And so, with Selene by his side and the donkey at his feet, the story of Arryn, the commander who became king, passed into legend, inspiring generations who would one day walk upon the same magic roads. Thank you for watching.